This is your place for all things Grand Rapids Griffins and all things Toledo Walleye. This is the Hockeytown West podcast with your hosts, Brandon Cook, Nick Harrington, and Travis Foch.
Another year of Hawk using his team photo from his rookie year.
Are you talking about in the ECHL app?
Yes. Oh, it's on the team website too. It's not just the ECHL app. He's still got the headshot, and it's got to be from his rookie year, right? He still had hair.
Well, I think it was from his first year here when he had the really long hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
I seen that.
Come on.
I seen that pop up the other night when he got his first goal, and I was just like, "Can we get an updated photo?" Like
he's never gonna update it.
He might. I don't know if he has say in that, but if he does, like, kudos to him for just like using a current photo. Like, I love that vibe.
I want to say Moyle's photo looks different from last year, so I'm sure they update them. Hawk, it's time to let it go, bud. It's time.
I'll let you pick that battle with him because
I will.
I mean,
I will.
Yeah,
I have hair.
You and Nick can go down that fighting road with him.
Well,
me
Nick
and him
just
are on
gets
great
for not
terms.
showing.
He just gives me shit on occasion, and it's rightfully deserved. You two are just like at a war with this guy, and he just gives it to you whenever he sees you guys.
To be fair, I'm not at a war with him because I show up.
Well, that's also true, but also like
I just get chirped a lot,
and you get a puck thrown at you.
It's the hockey love language, right?
At least he didn't trap you in a corner and run you over with a scooter like you did me last year. So there's that factor.
And you have a great relationship. So like, see,
yeah,
it's the hockey love language. It's nothing but love with Hawk. But as soon as I saw that photo, I'm like, I have to bring it up. It's the first thing. It's the top priority to talk about. Not the games that were played, the old photo. Just update it. Let the hair go, man. It's okay.
It was.
Trust
I
me.
got a good chuckle. I was like, "Oh my goodness, they didn't update his picture yet."
I don't think they ever will. Anyways, welcome back to the show, everyone. And if you're tuning in, it is another Toledo Walleye Thursday episode, a recap of all the Toledo Walleye action from the last week. If you are new to the show, the first episode of the week that's on Mondays is Grand Rapids Griffins focused. The second one is Toledo Walleye focused. And if you're new here, welcome. If you haven't yet, hit subscribe on the video. Make sure you're following us wherever you get your podcast. We greatly appreciate it, and it helps out the show a ton. Travis, we have games, not just we have games to talk about this week, which is a beautiful thing. But we got some news and updates first that we're going to dive into.
Well, before we have news, I have to make an announcement. So I was forwarded by a listener / friend of the show, John Gulch from the Gulch golf outing. He gave us some numbers. They raised almost $18,000 this year. That puts them at a total of almost $220,000 so far in their years of doing this, and again goes back to a great cause. It's an incredible thing. They already have next year's scheduled, so that's going to be another must attend event. So I just thought that, I know it's a while after, but he reached out to me today, so I thought I would at least, we gave them some love before the event, and so it's rightfully deserved, and to get their time back, that he gave me those numbers.
Incredible numbers right there. That's awesome. Congratulations to them on running such a successful event for a great cause, and just overall an awesome event. I hope this year I get to be there and take part in it. That's the goal, or this coming year, I should say. Not this year. We ain't golfing right now. It's freezing outside. But at the same time, just incredible stuff. So congrats to them, and thanks for sharing the numbers with us. I'm glad we could share that with everybody else. Now, to the news.
Yeah, I mean, really, there's not a lot of news. It's just like some small talking points. Obviously, the big one that, like, if you watched the show last week, we recorded prior to the big news of the Colin Sawyer suspension, and then I threw in the little edit that we would go a little more in depth with it this week. So I guess we can start there. But I'm sure that's going to take most of the talking point for the news. Other than that, just 4 rookies made their debut last week, so I figured we would just jump on that with Nolan Moyle, Tanner Kelly. I'm gonna have to ask him how to say his name properly. If it's Nathaniel.
Yeah.
I don't.
There's no. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure that one out.
We know it's Roy, not Wah.
We know it's Roy, not Wah, and Tanner Edwards. So 4 rookies into the lineup, and just so many different lineups. You can tell they're tell they're still really tinkering with who's going to play with who this year. But yeah, that's really all the big time news.
Well, Pat said it himself that October is their preseason essentially. So obviously they're still going to tinker with things. And I
Yeah.
can probably go on record and say that they were the only team in all of hockey that night with 2 Tanners making their pro debut.
Probably.
The
And had
joke of
3
how
in the
many
lineup.
Tanners. It's fun. I'm glad they leaned into it, at least with one meme about it. I was happy about that. But yeah, let's talk about the Colin Sawyer suspension. Obviously, like you said, it happened after we recorded the last episode, and it shocked us at first, but then you send us the play, and I was kind of like, if you slow it down, it looks bad. At high speed, it looks bad. So maybe it is deserving. I'm terrible at analyzing the suspension stuff because like I look at that happening and I go, okay, and then I look at the incident in the American Hockey League with Josiah Didier getting taken down in that wrestling move and punched in the head while he was on the ice, and there was nothing from that, absolutely nothing. And then you see this hit and you're like, 3 games, dang.
It's the most like thankless job in sports, probably player safety. Because somebody's always going to be pissed at you.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, initially, like, so here's my thing with it. Initially, I seen the hit and like I didn't think they were calling a penalty, which I thought it was warranted a penalty at least. And then you got to figure he served half a game already. That's where I thought the 3 games was like kind of long. But then as you go back, like he did get him in the head, like, but I don't think he was trying to do that. I think what he was trying to do is go through the shoulder. And it's just like at the angle he turned and came in at, he didn't turn sharp enough. So he got more of the face and the head than he did like coming through the side of the body. I mean, we know Colin, he's one of the nicest people. So I don't think it was meant to be bad by any means. It sucks, right? They lost him for those 2 games in Bloomington, and they're not going to have him for the home openers.
That sucks.
It does suck, and it is what it is at this point. But definitely was something we had to talk about. The more I watched it, I was like, okay, I understand it. It sucks. You got to take like the fan hat off and kind of put the like analyzing part of it on. Just the whole situation was so weird how they took Ernst off. It was so weird, but
yeah, that whole mess, but obviously again, wasn't intentional. I don't think any player, I shouldn't say any, but most players don't go into something with the intent to injure somebody or hit them in the head, especially.
Right.
Like that's not a hockey player thing. They don't do that. It's very few times the wires get that crossed, and Sean Avery doesn't play anymore. So it's you hate to see it, but I think you are right on the whole. Like he did miss basically half a game already, so the 3 games did feel steep. But has he been suspended before?
I never really got a clarification. I couldn't remember if there was one last year. I can't remember. It's at that point that if he was, that you can understand that they did 3 games. But again, like now it's 3.5. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's just kind of one of those, like, it is what it is. It's 2/3 of the way done, and then it'll be behind them, and you can get back to playing and just be back. So that's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, if we spend too much time talking about it, it's already happened and it's almost over, like you said. So we'll move on from that and get into these games this weekend. Obviously on the road, because they don't play at home in October ever. On the road in Bloomington for 2 games. Game 1 ends in a 4-2 loss. So walk me through what happened with this one, because obviously I was dialed in Grand Rapids at that time.
I mean, biggest thing is they just didn't score enough, right? Like, I mean, you have 40 shots, you're probably going to win a lot of games. It kind of felt like one of those games last year in the finals, to where analytically, if you go through it, like they won the game, right? And that's the best way to compare it. Like it felt like you were watching the finals all over again. Like they had all these chances, just couldn't find the back of the net at the key moments in the game. And I thought Carter honestly played a great game outside of 1 goal. He had 1 tough one. You could see he was visibly upset with himself, which we know Carter, like, he wanted that back right away. Like you could see it.
Kid's a gamer. He's a competitor.
Yeah.
Like he
Ultimate
wants that
competitor.
back.
He definitely wanted it back right away. And like the later that game went, like, and then in the 3rd period, like, Bloomington's goalie gets hurt and they have to bring a guy cold off the bench. You're like, oh my God, they're going to figure this. They're going to like figure this out, score a goal. And they just, again, the guy came in and shut the door. So credit to him, but I thought they deserved better. I feel like that would have been a game I'd love to talk to Pat after, be like, do you feel like you deserved more? Like, or does it feel like the final again? Like you played really well, you just couldn't get enough goals, and it's one of those nights where you go and like as a fan, and even as like like us, like you look at that and you're like, if you play like that every night of the year, you're gonna win a lot of hockey games. Outside, if you get the one save right, like you're at least getting a point, and then anything can happen in overtime. Like again, back to like Carter, like visibly upset. Like he holds himself to a very high standard, I think, and
Yes. Which you'd
I'm
love to
very
see.
yeah, and I'm very excited to see him probably bounce back in the home opener. Like he's been so good this year to start the year. Like I was talking to one of my friends, and I'm like, you got to realize like he's played in 3 games, okay, and one was a preseason, albeit shutout. Second game should have been a shutout, and the third game, the one tough one. Like the other 2, like I don't fault him at all. So like he's basically given up 1 tough goal so far this year in 3 games that he's played, albeit 2 of them are in, regular season, 1 is preseason. If you add that preseason number to his overall numbers, like his numbers would be astonishing. And they still are really good. I think you guys seen today he was in the 920s. So it's like,
Yeah.
like he's off to a phenomenal start.
Things that jump out to me when I look at the stats in this one, like you said, the deserve to win meter was probably in Toledo's favor in this one. There's a lot of nights that you put up a performance like this that you're going to win a game. I see 2 goal scorers, which I do like to see. Hillibrand getting his first of the season from Andrews and Ernst on the power play. Moyle, his second from Dickinson and Hawkins on the power play. So a good special teams night, right?
The Moyle goal was beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
It was a good, nice rebound in front. Like
That's 2 beauties from him this season.
We're going to talk about him.
Yeah, we will. But the other thing that jumps out at me, because again, I was in Grand Rapids covering that game, not watching this one. 2 penalty shots in this game?
Dude.
1 for each team?
Yeah, it was. And honestly, Kelly had him beat. Like he had him beat. Like it should have been tied, to be honest. Like he should have scored. I can't even explain to you like how bad he had him beat. He just didn't get the puck up. So like the goalie was sliding side to side, and the only thing that like he had to do was clear the pad, and he's scoring. And he was on his backhand, and he just couldn't get it up quick enough. Like if he gets it into the if he gets it 2.5 feet off the ice, he scores easy. It was a gross move. Like he had it. Like I said to my dad, and my dad was watching the game. He's like, "Yeah, he had him. He just didn't get it up." And I was like, "Yeah, it's tough. Like that was tough." And yeah, it was really weird. 2 penalty shots. Ours was a very different reason, like the why they got theirs, because ours was covering the puck in the crease with your hand. You can't do that. Like
you can't do that.
It's one of those like weird plays that like you're in a major panic mode. Like I've been there. It's total chaos, and it's an instinct. Like just put your hand on the puck. It's a total like reactionary play versus just like hit it. You can hit it with your hand as long as you don't cover it in the crease. It's not a penalty shot, and it, like I said, it's a natural reaction. Like what do you do when you pick something up or you drop something? You like put your hand down to go over top. Like you try to catch it or you put your hand on it. Like it's just a natural thing, and it sucks that it went against us and they scored on it. But like again, that goes back to like Carter. Like it's a penalty shot. Like it's shouldn't be in that position. Like
right, yeah, you're going 1-on-1 in game, not a shootout, and you just shouldn't have to be in that position. I do like on the ECHL stat sheets that they actually put the rule number next to the penalty shot stat, so you can actually look it up and see what the call was. That's kind of cool. I don't see that in the American League. I like that. And it's interesting to note too that the 6 penalty minutes that or 6 of the 10 that Bloomington had were from one guy.
Yeah. And I think he might have scored the game winner.
He did.
Yeah.
So he made up for it.
Yeah. Which is completely bizarre, right? Like
yep. Well, I guess not the game. He had the last goal of the game, not the game winner.
Or the empty net goal. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So he
was involved. He's very involved.
He was very involved in the game. He did have an assist in the game too. Just based on before we get to the second game, your observation, because we know what Bloomington's first year looked like. Do they look like a better team this year?
Well, tale of 2 games. First game, yes. Second game, no. I would say maybe as a whole, yes, because in the second game they did come out strong, but like in this game, like you're like, man, if they didn't have goaltending, this would have been a blowout. Like I just with how many shots and how many good chances Toledo had, like it felt like much of the same, even though we lost this game. I think this was the first time we lost there because we played them, I think 10 times last year. And the only loss we had to them was at home. So that's how it was with Indy too. And for so many years. And Yeah, they might be a little bit better, but I don't know if it's going to be like drastically better. It's going to be something to watch as the year unfolds. Because remember last year how tight that playoff race was. Nobody wanted to finish fourth for the longest time.
That's right. Nobody wanted to be in the playoffs. They just all were giving it away. Let's jump into game 2 so we could talk about that. Obviously, a much different result. Toledo wins this one 6-2. We got to talk about the guy that scored a few of those goals, obviously. But I have to talk about the penalty shot first, because again, another penalty shot in Bloomington. There are 3 penalty shots between the 2 teams in 2 games. That's so rare, but I see on the stat sheet penalty shot thrown object.
I didn't catch this, to be honest. There's so much going on, like between going like this to try to watch games every night, like you're like,
welcome to my life.
And it's like, oh my goodness. But I want to talk about
object.
Yeah, that's right. There must have been
in the comments.
It must have been in the comments.
Let us know.
Somebody probably caught it because, like I said, like for us, like to take you guys into what we're doing, like when you're clipping the game, you watch it, but you're also working, and then there's another game on here because like you're trying to watch what's going on in GR while you're watching what's going on in Toledo, or like that night it was also Detroit. It was Detroit that night, so it's like you're trying to do multiple things at once because literally it's all affects our show, especially like when guys get called up, sent down. So it's like you're trying to keep an eye on everything. But the move itself, yeah, it's a challenge. It's not easy. It's not easy work.
It's fun, but it's not easy. But anyways, the move.
It's the same move he does every time. I don't understand how goalies like just fall for it, but it's so damn smooth how he does it. Like that first cell, it's so hard that like a goalie's instinct is to just fall down. Like
it's because, he does it every time, and he's one of those shooters that can get away with it, because if he goes to make that move but does something else and the goalie commits to that move they're used to seeing, they're going to burn him that way. He's in every goalie that he plays against head because he's so dang talented.
Well, you have to respect the shot too because it's so damn good. Like that.
Yeah.
Like he could easily just rip it by you, and I've seen him do it. Like
it's insane.
It's not fair.
The him we speak of, if you don't know, it was Brandon Hawkins. He had that penalty shot goal and a hat trick in this game.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, I'm going to take the game over. Like we've seen it so many times, right? Like, the last one was great too. Like he ended up on the ice. He like fell down after he scored. It was great. And I was just like, oh my God, he scored again.
Yeah.
The first one too is like
used to it now at this point though. Good Lord.
Yeah. And the first one was like nothing. Like it was like he was standing on the blue line almost and just kind of threw it towards the net, and it went in. Like it was
like, more nothing than Simon Edvindson's goal?
It was
just tossed in the air,
almost identical. Like
that's hilarious.
The Edvinson goal that gave him the lead.
Yeah.
Almost the same goal, but like just throwing it towards the net, like, and it just went in. Like, yeah, it was bizarre. That night was
funny if they were scored at like the exact same time on the clock.
It would have been. Definitely would have been. That's when you know you'd been
the hockey multiverse there.
Yeah, you're living in a simulation.
100%. Anyways, yeah, Hawk, Hattie, dude, it's unreal. Like his scoring ability is unreal. It shoots it from anywhere. His shot's ridiculous. What more can you say about it? I'm running out of ways to describe him as a player.
He could literally probably play till he's 40 and just pull an Ovechkin, stand at the faceoff dot, and one-time pucks all night and probably score 30 a year. Like it's nothing. But yeah, like his shot's unreal, and there's some definitely some other guys to talk about out of these games.
Yeah. There's definitely other ones, so let's talk about them.
The one I love is Dickinson. He's from Perrysburg, Ohio, grew up in Northwest Ohio. He's playing for his hometown team, and he's made a pretty sizable impact right away. Very cool to see him get his first. That's kind of a special thing, right? Like, and they've had this with a couple guys recently, like you had Gordy Meyer a few years ago. Now you've got Dickinson. So it's just like, and like he was with 2 guys one night, 2 guys a different night. Like they're still continuing to figure out who's going to play with who for the whole season. And you still might see that night one at home, and the next game they play, you might see a different lineup. It's just kind of, I think, what it's going to be this year. And for most of the first month and a half, but it's cool to see him have a moment. Like it's going to be really cool when he scores his first goal at home. Like,
oh yeah,
like that's going to be a moment, right? You know, there's going to be a lot of family at every game because he lives 20 minutes from downtown, like grew up 20 minutes from downtown. So very special for him. And like Nolan Moyle, man.
Let's talk about this guy.
Yeah, talk about finding another gear, right? Like last year played down in the lineup in the playoffs, third, fourth line most nights from, what it seemed like. And now this year, like asking more from him probably. He's getting power play minutes. He's making the most of his opportunities, but he's also scoring shorthanded. Like, and that's one thing as a whole too. Like Toledo didn't score it at even strength until this game. Like this was their third game of the year, and every goal they scored has either been shorthanded or on the power play, which we'll get into later. But Nolan Moyle, I mean, like taking that next step, right? Like that was one question I had this year. Like, where are the goals going to come from, right? Like, who's going to step up? Who's going to bounce back? You lost a lot of offense, and to have Moyle have 3 goals in 3 games, like that's a huge thing, right? Like Hawks got 3 and 3, scored all 3 in one game. Dickinson's got 1 already. Like some of these guys are already just chipping in, right? And that's huge.
Yeah, Hillibrand's got 2, Smirnoff's got 2.
Yeah,
Llewellyn's got 1. Like it's good to see it coming from everywhere.
Well, and it's like you said, it's coming from everywhere because Darby was playing, bottom 6. He gets the first goal of the year. Like there's contributions up and down the lineup. Which let's look at last year, for example. They had the big line, right? Like that
It
first
was top
line.
heavy.
It was very, I wouldn't say top heavy because I think the bottom 6 could score, but I think they're just built better to score more this year. Like they're not going to be as reliant on one line or 2 lines per se. It's going to be more workman mentality. It's going to take all of us most nights, and I think that's going to help this team grow.
I would agree with that, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. You like scoring from up and down the lineup, and even when you look at the defensive side of the puck, I mean, every defenseman but 2 has a point. They're all assists, mind you, but everyone's got a point, including Nick Andrews, who's a point per game.
Yeah, and he that's one thing, Pat. They want the defenseman to be moving the puck, get in the play. Like they like those kind of players. It's something they look for. They like to have those type of guys that can move the puck, get involved offensively, but still play some defense. Like I'm excited with the start. They've answered some of my questions, which is probably the biggest thing. You just wondered, right? You didn't know. There's so many unknowns. Like both of the teams we cover this year, there's so many unknowns. And it's a good thing to see that so many guys are contributing early in the year. I think that's going to instill a lot of confidence. I really like Hillibrand. Really like that guy. Dude's going to be a dog if he's, hopefully, cross my fingers, not in the American League by Christmas.
Right. He's a guy that, you could see if it was needed getting that
PTO.
shot. But yeah, it's like you said, they started answering your questions and they've answered some of mine. Can they score goals? Yes. Are they getting scoring from up and down the lineup? Yes. Are they grittier than they were last year? Yes.
Which we'll get into.
Yeah, we'll talk about that here. And the other one was the goaltending, right? You look at it and how's Carter going to be? He's been great. How's Nolan Moyle going to look? Makes his pro debut in this game and plays a really, really good one.
Dude, I was like about halfway to the third period. I was like, this kid might get a shutout in his first game. Like I didn't text it to anybody. Like I was like keeping my mouth shut because last year when there was a game when I had to like pick a name, I had to pick names and I sent the name and then they scored. And that's the last time I'll ever send the name. I just reply with, I'll let you know when I get downstairs. And I was kind of having that moment and I was like, man, he is playing really good. And you looked at his junior numbers and you were like, well, you didn't know what to expect, right? Like wasn't like a 925 save percentage guy in junior, but like good enough to be where he's at, right? And have the opportunity he has. He's signed by the Jackets. So it's an interesting thing, right? They're not affiliated with an ECHL team. And I think you're going to see a lot of the same, like every other start. Like I think they're going to give this kid games. And after that first one, he definitely has earned starts for sure.
Oh yeah.
Whether that's a 50-50 split or a 60-40 split, you never know. That was one question I had. It was going to be like, okay, are they going to play the other goaltender? Are they going to play another goaltender this weekend? They did. And for a rookie on the road, first game, you lost the night before. You don't want to come home 1-2, ideally, or 1-1. Like, you want to come home over 500. So it's kind of like a big game early in your career for your first professional start, and he handled it well. He played unbelievable.
Yeah, it's not that Bloomington's the most hostile environment. We'll give them credit. Their attendance is already up from last year, it looks like, so good for them. Love to see that. You want to see teams be successful in this league, but it's good to see him handle a road game like that. It's funny you mentioned like asking for the names that you're going to talk to post game, because I did that to Cossa on Friday, because we get asked with about 5 to 7 minutes left in the game who we want to talk to, because they'll put it up on the board for the guys after the game, so they're aware. All right, I've got to do this. We don't get any other option than that. We have to tell them then.
Yeah.
So I called for Cossa, and Nick's like, "Are you really doing that to him? Are you really?" I'm like, "Yep. I'm confident enough he'll be fine," and it didn't burn me for once. So
he was so dialed. He was getting that shutout.
So good, so good.
Yeah,
Nolan had that shutout up until 10 minutes left in the third. So that's pretty dang good.
I will say, when they scored the first one, they got the second one a few minutes later. I was like, okay, we gotta lock it down a little bit here. Like, let's just seal the deal, and they did. So they shut it down quickly after the second one went in. I'm sure there was some, hey, let's wake up here. Let's not give them any more life than they need. So it was good to see them, I guess you could say, bounce back. Like I said, they played so well in game one that I thought they deserved better. But I would say for the month of October, 2-1, that's fine. I'm not upset with that by any means. Like, you're not going to go 72-0, right? You're going to lose games. But as a whole, like, they could very easily be 3-0 right now. And
oh yeah,
like I'm more than pleased with how they've played so far. They've answered, like I said, a lot of questions that I had.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Well, we're going to hit a quick ad break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Toledo special teams. We're going to talk about them setting the tone, give you our 3 stars of the weekend, and a little bit of updates around the ECHL as well. So quick ad break.
Hockey is back, and this season, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, brings you all the speed, skill, and nonstop action you love. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get paid out $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 4673. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-78-97777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Blue Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, pass-through of pay per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. Copyright NHL 2025. All rights reserved.
Welcome back. All right, let's talk special teams, because they're looking pretty good so far, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, very. They were the only reason they won the first game of the year and stayed in the second game of the year. So it's where they only could find offense for two games. So it's very bizarre. I did not have 3 shorthanded goals in 3 games and 4 power play goals, totaling to 7 of the team's total 12 goals. But hey,
That's
you take them how you can get them.
What do you think? Let's start with the penalty kill and the shorthanded goals, right? Because 3 in 3 games, that's insane. That's an insane stat. What do you think the difference between the penalty kill this year and last year looks like to you?
I think this is where you have a defensive defenseman in Chaz leading the way in your penalty kill, right? Like, we know Bain runs the power play and the forwards, and we've got Chaz, I'm assuming, is running the PK. Albeit, I mean, like, they all discuss and talk ideas, but Chaz is going to be the one, like, helping these guys, showing them what they want done, stuff like that. But I think that's part of it. And as far as the goals, I think it's just knowing when you have a chance to go and they do it. Like, when you have an opportunity, albeit maybe a 2-on-1 or a chance to just get loose yourself, just go. Like, who cares? If you can get back, you can get back. I mean, they've got a pretty quick team. I think that's one thing that I believe it was Hawkins talking in the one of the intermissions, talking about they're really quick. They're a quick team this year. So, like, that's where when you're shorthanded and you block a shot, all of a sudden you can spring yourself free or spring a 2-on-1. Like, as long as you can get back, like, you might as well be aggressive, right? I will say this is one rule that I want changed in hockey. This is a big rule change for me. It's the jailbreak rule. The PWHL does it. Like, if you score shorthanded, the power play ends. Like, I firmly believe that should be a rule.
I do agree.
Like, I love that rule. I would love to see it implemented, but I mean, it's like, to just go back to what we're discussing. Like, I think it's just a confidence, right? Like, team defense, like, they want to be good defensively. 83.3%, 10 for 12 so far. Like, the PKs just, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? Like, can you kill around 84%, 85%? That's generally really good, right?
Yeah.
Damn near elite numbers. Like, if you can be even around 80, I think you're in good shape. 81, 82. So I like what they've done so far. They seem to, like, again, this goes back to the whole decor coming back too, right? Like, all of your defensemen were on the team last year. So systematically, they know what they want to run. And then you don't have, that's not a lot of teaching. It's more or less tweaking if you need to tweak some things. And
I think you got to call it the biggest contributor on that side too, though. When you look at the stats and see the breakdown, Nolan Moyle has 2 of those shorthanded goals. Plus, he's got a power play goal.
Yeah, like, he's, again,
all 3 of his goals this season are on the special teams.
Hey, he's a special player.
Special team, special player.
Yeah, like,
make special plays. Yeah, it's
I really like
man.
what he's the kind of guy to where,
now here's a guy.
Yeah, here's a guy. The last guy that you would want to see getting the puck shorthanded is probably that guy, because he's so damn fast. Like, straight line speed, he's probably the fastest guy on the team.
He's probably up there in the league too, honestly. Let's be real.
Probably, because think back to last year, the game they wore the St. Catric's jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
He got the breakaway in overtime. Like, he picked up the puck and he was gone. Like, he's just got that speed. So, like, that's the guy to where, like, if there's a loose puck, he could get to it first, and then if he's got an angle, he's gone. You ain't gonna catch him. So
yeah, I mean, look, if you can put an effective player like that on the penalty kill, and he can, one, kill penalties and play a defensive style of hockey, but also has that upside, that's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, 100%.
Except the other team.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, too, the power play, I mean, 36% right now.
Yeah, I was terrified watching the first game of the year. Like, I was like, "Whoa, boy, this is not good." But
I remember that text. You were like,
it was not, like, you guys would have been like, "What is this is not Toledo's power play."
I don't know. We've seen some pretty bad power play systems.
No. But I'm saying, like, for what you're used to seeing out of Toledo on the power play, you guys would have been like, what's going on? Because I was like, what are we doing? Like, entries were, like, not a thing, like, non-existent. And they've clearly made an adjustment quickly. But yeah, it's been very effective. Puck movement's been good. Figuring out, attack mode, get it to the net, get rebounds, or, set up a nice play to where you get a wide open look. Their power play is probably going to hum. That's one thing that ever since Bain's been here, it's been so good. Like, it's just an elite. It helps when you have guys, like Hawkins, McCourt running the power play. Like, you've got all these.
I don't have a power play goal yet.
He's on that first unit though. Like,
I know.
When you got playmakers like that the puck goes through so many times, it's you have great players. Great things are going to happen when you have an extra player. Just 100%. The reality of the situation. Now, the advantage again to this year is you're going to have 2 units that can play, and I think that's a very key thing. They still like to run that high bumper play with Craggs. They did execute it in the one game. I don't remember if it was the second game, but I think he missed high. But so that's still a very important element that they like with that unit, is they work the puck high to low and pop it out to Craggs. That's clearly a set play. They like to run that. Oh, yeah. Whether they want to admit it or not, they've done it so many times, like, you can pick up on it. So maybe that unit, if it's not working there, you got to maybe, instead of going to the bumper, go across the crease. But, that's something they'll work through the year. But each unit,
they do like that play. Unless you're the other team listening, they never run that play. I don't know what you're talking about.
They run that play a lot. But with that unit and the other unit, it's a completely different. It's 2 different waves of offense, which is a good thing. It's 2 different styles. So that's a nice thing to see. I'm excited to see it in person. You can watch so much on TV, but until you're actually there watching it in person, you can't fully get a grasp for what's going on, because the camera angle only sees so much.
Right, exactly. It is interesting to look in comparison too. Like, you want to, we can say these numbers on the power play, if it's good, bad, whatever, we can say it in our opinion. When you look in the comparison with other teams if you stay within the division. Like your power play is 36%, Fort Wayne's is 17. You know, that's not bad to be that much higher. You look at Iowa, who's leading the division right now. Oh, they're at 38%. I don't know what's going on down there. Something's brewing in Iowa, but they started to become a good team last year too. So, you know, things will get interesting. And then just another one for comparison, Kalamazoo, 22% right now. So second in the division in the power play, but at the same time, like, it's really good. And it's what you would expect, right? You expect this team to have a dangerous power play. But when you say in comparison to, you know, last year when maybe they had one line that when they step in the ice in the power play, you're like, oh, it's dangerous for the other team. Then the second unit comes on, you're like, this isn't as dangerous. Now they can roll two that look dangerous.
I wouldn't say the second unit wasn't as dangerous. It was just that it was so different. And I think it's still that way, but I think it's just a matter of like figuring out what's the proper time, right? And sometimes last year they'd start with that second unit and it paid off for them. So I think it's just going to be a matter, like I said, it's if you watch this in depth, it's two completely different waves of offense and how it's ran because they're trying to run different plays to different guys. They clearly like some types that do specific things. I think I even seen two defensemen on the second unit in night 2 in Bloomington. So that's a different wrinkle. Not a lot of teams even do that anymore with two defensemen on the ice. So it's going to be very interesting to watch in person, but they're off to a good start. So you can't complain.
No, can't complain at all. Move on from special teams and talk about what I hinted at earlier in the episode when I talk about this team being physical. It was always the question around Toledo fans. Can this team be physical? Can they be more physical, please? Was always the question or always the thing you heard around Toledo. Hey, Trav, are they more physical?
So far, they are.
It's wild so far. You texted me game 1, and you're like, the Chaz Redicop effect in action. And I'm like, yeah, holy.
Well, so far, Will Hillman laid a dude out, and Craggs laid a dude out this last weekend. Llewellyn got in a fight in the first game. We had 2 or 3 fights at the end of the second game after Pilon laid a huge hip check right on open ice.
Massive.
Yeah, like there definitely is a little bit more sandpaper. So I like to see that. I think like I said, this team is just built differently from what this fan base is used to seeing. It's
in a good way or a bad way?
I think it's a good thing. I think there's a lot more. I don't know if toughness is the right word. It's more just all for one and one for all, like team toughness, not just player toughness. Because like the other night, like after that big hip check, like there were 3 or 4 guys like just throwing down.
Yeah, you sent me that replay. I was like, what is happening here?
Well, like that's exciting. Obviously, like, you know, Pilon, he's a little ball of hate out there. He's gonna stir the pot. Harvey Llewellyn seems like a little ball of hate. He's gonna stir the pot. Enan's like mucking it up. He got in a fight in the preseason. So like, you know, we got, you know, 4 games and we've had, well, if you count the half line brawl, you've got 6 or 7 fights in 4 games, counting 5 games, counting the preseason.
A handful of roughing penalties.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it's just more like we're not going to take as much abuse as previous years. Now, small sample size. We'll see how, you know, if this sustains and if they carry this over for the season. But it's not like they're going out and starting line brawls, right? But they're just playing a much heavier game. Like Ernst is in your face. Like he's a guy that even in the preseason, like my buddy Ben was with me, he goes, I like that 34. Like, like he gets in your face and it's all on. And I'm like,
Yep.
They need guy. I think that's maybe an element that, yeah, they've missed to a point. I think it's been there, but just maybe not to this level. Like they needed some piss and vinegar, and I think they added some.
What I'll say about it, and this is just my takeaways. One, with them obviously being more physical, you do love to see it, but I love how they're doing it. They're not doing it in a stupid way that puts them in a stupid position, right? It's not just running around taking guys' heads off, being idiots. They're doing it in a way that, one, drags the other team into the fight, making them retaliate, making it at least an even playing field, not taking dumb penalties in that case. You always worry when a team starts to get rough and tough that they're just going to do stupid things that cause problems. They're not doing that, but when they need to answer the bell, they're answering it. The other takeaway from that last game, where you said Pilon threw this hip check, and it was a great hip check. You look at the list of penalties, he's the only one that didn't come out of that with a penalty.
It was a big, I wouldn't say it was like a classic old school over the back hip check. He definitely flew off to the side, but like, I guess you could classify it as that.
I
So-
would. Based on my analysis of it, I'd call it one.
I mean, I'm not saying like the old school, like you bend over and you flip them over the back, like the old, like 90s style, but it was a heavy play. And yeah, you just love to see him, one for all for one mentality. Like, I think I said it a couple times, like, who was the guy that was answering the bell last year a few times? He's wearing the C now. Like, like Spees got destroyed in that one game, and he's the one fighting the guy, albeit it was one of his best friends, but still. You think back to the game in Wheeling, Bliss gets hit, he gets hurt, leaves the game. Who's the guy skates over, grabs the guy? Like, I think it's
I don't think he'll have to be doing that this year.
I hope not. Like, I think I've heard him say
he'll do it if he needs to, but I don't think he'll be that guy this year. He's not going to have to be that guy.
I don't, as well, not with some of these guys they brought in. Like, Llewellyn is I'm going to take.
Tough dude.
Yeah, I'm going to take no crap this year. They needed some guys like that. And you're like, I can hear it. Like, oh, they're not 6'6", 225. You don't have to be. Like, you don't have to be to play, like, heavy, mean. Like, look at the Florida Panthers. They're not all, like, 6'8", 270. Like,
listen,
they got
I watched
some big
Alex
boys.
Kanek-Liepert chuck him on Friday night, and I stood in front of him on Sunday and realized his height difference to me and was like, yeah, you're not a massive dude, but boy, you could chuck him.
Yeah, it's not about the size of the dog. It's about the size of the fight in the dog. So,
yeah. Oh, that was such a good scrap. I keep going back to that because we haven't seen, obviously, you see Austin Watson chuck, but you haven't seen anyone but Austin Watson really throw him down like that. And once I saw that kid tuck his chin down, I'm like, this kid knows how to fight. I like it.
Yeah.
Anyways, enough about the Griffins.
I just think the fans will appreciate it a little bit better. I think they've wanted that a little bit. If we see a fight home opener, like, the place is going to be going absolutely bonkers.
Be very excited.
Well, you had one against Indy and you're playing them. Well,
the chances are there.
There, like, I'm not saying it's going to happen, right? There's a time and a place. And that's one thing with that part of the game, that there's always a time and a place. So you got to strategically pick when to do it and when to, stuff like that. But as a whole, physically, they've been, I think it started last year in the playoffs. Like, it seems like we noticed it right away. Like, I think back to, like, the Craggs hit when he absolutely blew that dude up at the blue line from Indy last year. Yep. And it seems like there was just a little bit more toughness, a little more grit last year in the playoffs. And with some of the additions they've added this year, I think it may not be like the big part of their game, but I think it's going to be a part that throughout the year is maybe a little underrated, is that they play a little heavier. Cause like I said, even Keenan, like, no bubble this year. I think there's just less, like, he's in there mucking it up. Like, it's just, there's a sour taste in some of these guys' mouth, and the new guys know the expectation. So I think that's kind of what's going on here.
I don't want to derail the episode before the last topic we have, but you said the expectation. Is the expectation still cup or bust?
I think the expectation is come in and get better every day. And at the end of the year,
good answer.
I think at the end of the year, if they do all this stuff the right way, they'll be in the fight for it again. Like,
you can tell this guy's been doing some media after games.
There's a long way to go from now to May or even April. And to the fans, yes, it's 100% that. It will be
always cup or bust if it's the fans.
It will be that until they die. Like, that's just what it's going to be.
Even when they win one, it'll still be that the next season. And the season, like, it's always going to be the expectation.
The fan side for me says that, but the guy that has to talk to the players every day, you begin to see and hear things like, we got to get better in this area. We got to one day at a time. Like, and they got a lot of young players. Yes, they know what the fans want. They get that. But one day at a time, one game at a time, how can I get better today? What can we do as a team to get better today? Like, it's very cookie cutter answer, but it's just, like, little by little. Rome wasn't built in a day, people.
That's fair. All right, on to our 3 stars of the weekend for Toledo. I see your note here with who you took. So who is your 3rd star?
So for me, Nolan Moyle, 2 goals. And honestly, it just goes back to how well of a start he's had, right? Like, just, I thought, he had 2 goals this weekend, but I thought he played really well.
I had him as my second star, actually.
Okay. Who's your third?
I was going to give it to Nick Andrews.
Okay.
Coming in, playing well defensively, producing assists in both games, 2-point weekend, 3 assists on the season already. Obviously, we're just talking about the weekend, though. I didn't know what to expect out of the small sample size we got of him last year, and knowing that he'd be there full time, and just, I like what I see so far. So I wanted to give him those flowers and give him that third star, where I went Moyle second star. I see who you put here, and I'll let you explain it. And it's a very good choice as well. That was going to be my third or second. I was all over the place with this after going over stats. So.
For me, it's Nolan alone. Rookie, 33 at 35, didn't give up a goal till what?
10 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, so it's what, 50 minutes into the game. Like, hell of a first start for him. So proud of him. Can't wait to meet him at some point and get to know him. So I thought he was unbelievable. He made some huge saves in that game, but even the routine save, he just looked comfortable. Like, and again, like, young guy. He's not very old. He's a younger player. Another guy that's just getting his feet wet, making his pro debut. And when you have a guy like Carter, who was here last year, that's a guy he can go to, ask questions. But again, they have Ace. Like, they have a guy that these goaltenders can lean on that are, coming into the pro game, and they can have conversations and what do we need to work on? This is what we need to do. Here's your routine. Okay, let's go. Like, I can't speak enough to how important that position is, and to have a full-time coach working with these guys. And it's a union. You listened to that interview with the guys they had last year. Like, it's a full-blown union. It's a family. So the whole team's a family, but the goalie union is very tight. And for Nolan to have a first game like that, I thought he played really well and earned that.
Yeah, I agree. I like the talk track you had there for that. I'll agree. First star, I think we're all in unanimous agreement here with who that should be.
Yeah,
Mr. Hawkins.
Yeah, I think that's rightfully deserved.
Yeah.
Hat trick in one game, assist in the other. Like, just had, he's still an elite player. He's just such a good hockey player. His hockey sense is so through the roof. I mean, we talk every episode, you seemingly talk about the guy, but it's rightfully deserved when you play that well, right? Like, you still have to go out and produce. And now he's taken on an even bigger role this year, having a C on his chest. So he's going to have to lead by example, and he's doing it. So that's the guy that they're going to, he's the diesel engine that runs the team. You think, like, you hear Mickey Redmond talk about the Red Wings, like Dylan Larkin's diesel engine that runs that team, right? Like, Hawkins is the diesel engine that runs this team in Toledo. And he's a very elite player at this level. Again, just be thankful you have a player of that talent sticking around and calling this home. Like, you're spoiled.
Yep. Very, very spoiled. Well, that's our 3 stars of the week. If you have a different opinion on those, let us know who you thought the 3 stars of the week were for Toledo. On to the upcoming schedule for the Walleye here. Just the one game this weekend, eh? You got Indy?
Just the home opener against
the home
Indy.
opener?
Yeah, and they just announced today, shout out to them right before we jump on, that they're doing a blue carpet.
Yeah.
That's
Doing a nice
cool.
welcome event. That's going to be, 1, it's going to be packed. 2, it's going to be super cool. You got the Red Wings to do the red carpet, the Walleye doing the blue carpet. Grand Rapids, we got to talk for next season, please.
It's funny that how funny is this? Because when I was up there for the red-white game, I was like, did they do a red carpet here? And you're like, no. I was like, could you imagine if Toledo did one? And you were like, they don't need to. And I was like, they don't, but now they are.
Yeah, such a cool thing for the fans there. I love that they're doing it. I hope that's something that continues going forward. I hope the weather's great for it. And the home opener is going to be a blast. I'm so sad I'm missing it this year. It bugs me, but I will be in Toledo on the 8th of November for the game against Kalamazoo.
Okay, I'll have to send a text to get the tickets for you.
If you can't, either way, I will be there. It is going to happen. I was blessed with some bonus days off from work, but I think there's going to be even one more bonus to it. I'll be potentially in Kalamazoo on the 7th.
Yeah, I was going to maybe make the trek up for that, but I remember that we have an event in the morning or in the early evening that day, the 8th. So that I'll have to go to, but yeah, excited to see you. Glad, because I didn't know that. You knew you were talking about it. Are you going to stay for the Sunday game?
That's up in the air because I don't know what Mr. Nick's schedule looks like, and we do have an afternoon game for the Griffins on the road in Chicago. that will need to be covered. So potentially, but I will do 2 walleye games. I'll have them on the road, and then I'll have them in person in Toledo the day after. The Griffins don't play either of those days. I got a bonus long weekend from work. It worked out freaking perfectly. I'm excited.
So you're going to be doing post game by yourself, and
yeah, about time I get to do it with them. Oh God,
in that little hallway.
Love and hate the Kalamazoo Arena. I know they're getting a new one, and that the renderings of it look beautiful.
They do.
Love it, hate it, but I am gonna miss the old style barn that they have now. It's it's cool in its own way.
It's like the sports arena was.
Exactly. I'll be at both though. I'm excited for that. The schedules are working out right for once when it comes to hockey. Not the home opener, but hey, I'll get 2 games. I'll take it. I'll take it when I can get it. Quick update just on the standings around the ECHL. Obviously, we're only so many games into the season, so you don't like the standings watch, but hey, we'll provide the update because weirdly enough, Iowa's played 5 games already. Everyone else in the division's played 3, but the Heartlanders have played 5.
Hey, games in hand early in the year.
You love to see it, but they're off to a good start. 3 wins, 1 loss, 1 overtime loss. Obviously leading the division with 7 points there. Toledo, Fort Wayne, and Cincinnati have a tie for second place and with 4 points there. And underneath Cincinnati, you got Bloomington with 3, Kalamazoo with 2, and Indy with 1. Still looking for their first win of the season. You head over to the good old Mountain Division. Tahoe off to a great start, as kind of expected, leading or tied for the lead of the division with Kansas City and Idaho at 6 points there. Utah behind them, Rapid City, Wichita, Tulsa, and Allen. That makes up the entire Western Conference there. And out of the East, nothing really that shocking, besides when you look and see 2 of the Florida teams near the bottom of the division to start the season. Everybody's with 2-2. The Solar Bears are 1-3. It is early, but hey, you like to see other teams jump up there, right? Atlanta's leading the division next year right now, 4-0.
Yeah, but Florida's still got that goaltender, and as long as he's there,
they're still got that guy.
They're still going to be a threat, right? Like they're still going to be a good team. But for Atlanta, like that's awesome, right? Like kind of a team that maybe has struggled in the past to get off to a good start for them. That's huge. I think we talked about Greensboro having 11,000 fans at their home opener. That was unreal.
We talked about that. And you look at their record to start, they're 0-2-2, looking for their first win in franchise history.
Expansion in this league is tough. It's a very difficult thing because you have to, it's not like you draft and develop, right? You got to find the right guys and you got to find a core and then you got to build around that. And that generally only lasts for maybe 2 years, 3 years, if you're lucky. That goes back to building the culture and how special it is here. Yeah, I mean, it's so early. There's a lot of things that are going to happen. I think you can't really put stuff around it until you start to see teams at like the 10, 15 game mark. Then you kind of start to see where you're at and can kind of judge based off of that.
Topic I saw online, obviously there's more expansion teams still coming into this league too. The divisions are going to get restructured at some point. They're going to have to.
Yeah, well, they're definitely going to have to, especially after Utah relocates to Trenton. So
does Wheeling end up back in the Central?
I think they should.
I think they should too.
Yeah. I saw
talk of this online, and I'm like, I think that's the right move. They're so close to all these teams already. Like, it just makes logistical sense. And one, you miss that rivalry.
Yeah. I really wanted last year to be Toledo and Wheeling in the finals. Obviously that didn't happen. That would have been absolute chaos. Like,
oh yeah,
like that would have been amazing. But to go back to your point, yeah, I think Wheeling eventually ends up back in the Central, and then Trenton would replace them in the North, and then you'd have I'm looking at it on my phone, so bear with me here. You'd have expansion team coming back in for the Mountain to get them back to 8, and then you have what was it Augusta, right? They're getting the team.
Augusta, yeah.
Yeah, that would be in the South. Yeah, a lot of crazy. It's gonna be weird because like you think of the South and you like Greensboro's gonna get screwed out of this. I think they're gonna get stuck in that North Division and having to go all the way up to Quebec constantly.
Yeah, that would kind of suck.
And they're in North Carolina, so
that's brutal. That's actually brutal.
That's tough travel.
It is. Oh, man. Well, that's all we have for this week's Toledo Walleye update. A lot of information. It was nice to talk about 2 games. Next week, we'll only have 1, but maybe we'll sprinkle in an interview there in that episode, too, to fill the gap. I think that sounds like a good plan. I know Travis has got one on deck, so you'll have to wait and see who that's going to be.
Been on deck for a while, actually. Again,
it is. We've been, because, well, you were Elliot Friedman of Toledo down there in the summertime, just lining them up. So, yeah, we've sat on a couple for a minute there. And
might be a
that's
couple.
Okay.
Might be a couple notes sent out for even during the season. So
yeah, and we're still working on our Grand Rapids thing too. I know I teased last episode that we were going to have one last minute scheduling conflict popped up, and that interview might not happen this week. It still will happen at some point in time, but it was disappointed in that. So sorry to get you guys' hopes up and then let you down. But that's what happens when you speak before you record. I guess you got to record and sit on it for a few months and then launch it. That's the right move. So.
Well, we also did. We got at least one for the Griffins in that little thing that will kind of tie into Toledo, although that's not going to be recorded till around New Year's, just with scheduling.
Yes.
So little teaser there. You can try to figure out who that is.
Yep. We're working on them. We'll get as many as we possibly can. And if there's people you want to see on the show still, let us know in the comments and let us know on Twitter or wherever. If you want to hear these people get interviewed by us, let us know. We'll do our best. No promises. We'll try, though. Travis is good at working that phone, especially in Toledo. So me, not so much.
You want a funny thing real quick while we're talking about this?
Oh, yeah.
I was talking to my dad. So my dad was up recently, and he goes, "You should DM Elliot Friedman and tell him you're the Friedman of Toledo." See if you can get him on the show. I was like, I don't think we're quite there yet.
I don't think so. He'd be like, what is this fool talking about? I mean, only if he knew your track record. Only if he knew.
To be fair, and then I told my dad, like years ago, you know how Spotify releases your Wrapped every year? Well, it's like 32 Thoughts has been like my number 1 listen podcast for like the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years or whatever. And I tweeted,
you love that show.
I tweeted at the time it was Merrick was still there and Friedman was the other. And I actually got a DM from Friedman at the time.
That's right.
This is years ago that this happened. So like, I kind of want to be like, hey, but so maybe I'll surprise you guys one day. Be like, hey, we have an interview. You're not going to want to miss this. Figure it out.
Yeah. So. Who knows? Pipe dream, right?
Yeah. And you know, even if it didn't pertain to like the teams, I think, you know, it'd be fun down the road to just see different personas of hockey, right? Like guys that have been through the minors. So like if you find somebody, like reach out, you know, we cover the minors. There's always some fun minor stories to talk about.
Always some fun minor league stories to talk about, especially if you go back in the day. There's stories. Oh man. All right. With that, we'll wrap the episode up. Thank you all for tuning into another Toledo Walleye update from us. We appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please make sure you do. If you haven't hit follow to follow the podcast, also please make sure you do. It helps out the show a ton. You don't even know. Before we wrap up, though, we do got to thank our sponsors of the show, of course, DraftKings and Everything Hockey Clothing Company. When you're betting with DraftKings, use code THPN. When you're shopping at everythinghockey.com, use code WEST to save a few bucks off your order, and it also directly supports the show. And if you've used that code already, we appreciate you. Thank you. We've also got to thank our Patreon subscribers. If you want to join these lovely people, head over to patreon.com/HockeytownWest podcast. Check out the tiers we have there for bonus episodes, unedited episodes, other fun nonsense. I know we keep cooking up ideas. We just got to have time to execute on them. Maybe Brandon should take the extra days off and make trips to Toledo, but God, they're worth it. But anyways, back to thanking these wonderful people. We got Peter, Joe Schroeder, Bryson DeChambeau is elite, Tyler Ingalls, John in Florida, Elaine Grace, Griffin not from GR, Randy Zick, Derek Sleezer, Lori, Allen, and Michael Asante. Thank you all for the love and support. We appreciate it as always. With that, buddy, 1 game to cover this weekend for you, 3 games to cover this week for us. It's a busy week of hockey. I can't wait to be back on the show. Tune in next week for an update on all the Griffins and Toledo Walleye action that happens. But until then, as always, go Griffins, go Walleye. We'll talk to you all again soon.
Thank you for tuning in to the Hockeytown West podcast. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at HockeytownWPod and your hosts, Nick at GR Hockey Guy, Brandon at Brandon GR Hockey, and Travis at Trav in T-Town.